Hola, chicas! Welcome to Encuentras Your Voice podcast on this last Wednesday in July, where we are broadcasting to you from the sunny Catalan shores of España as we research for all sorts of business alternatives for you. Yes, everything we do has you in mind, so let's hope for nothing but goodness in this decision-making. I'm your host, Consuelo Crosby, here with you every Wednesday to bring you the amazing Latinas, sharing their journeys, taking up space in a world where we're often overlooked, but not here. Here we can blast your powerful story worldwide in just an instant. The beauty of it is that not only are you creating your legacy as you share your story, but also the legacy of family. We honor the journey from ancestry to authenticity, to archive our family's courageous destiny that led to that aha moment when you discovered your superpower of your multicultural identity. This is definitely one of those times when I wish we were recording in person and you were all here with me still basking on the beach at our typical 5 p.m. time, because that sun is still high in the sky. And getting ready to party big time this weekend for Fiestas Patrias, Peruvian Independence Day this Sunday, el 28 de julio. So go out and celebrate at your favorite Peruvian place. It's bound to be a great time. Give us a little viva, y salud. A Peru. Now today is a 15-minute Pod Club episode where we pull the gems from last week's full-length conversation to really understand the power of our guests that apply to our daily lives. And boy, or should I say Madam President, because we do understand the assignment here. Wasn't last week an absolute powerhouse of reinas? Just queens. Now, if you haven't listened to last week's full-length episode, no worries. This one absolutely stands alone and will tempt you to listen in on Wendy, Lisa, and Amy as they express their brilliant mindset in their own words. Three co-founders of Fluentica joined us last week to speak with pure transparency about themselves and their business, emphasizing that authenticity is what drives success, both personally and professionally. Now, doesn't that point right there just speak volumes to so many of you Latina entrepreneurs and businesswomen? That's what we're here talking about today. Showcasing the authenticity of each of the three co-founders of Fluentica, Wendy Betancourt and Lisa de la Paz from Cuba, and Amy Perez from Ecuador, and how the combination of their personalities has created a pivotal mindset to cultivate cultural capital to the stratospheric heights that it is truly capable of. Now you, most likely, are part of that cultural capital, part of that $3.2 trillion GDP power. And perhaps, like many, fed up with being overlooked by big brands, expecting attention only in Hispanic Latina Heritage Month. You know what these ladies are talking about when it comes to big brands ignoring the Latina and Hispanic community, both as consumers and business partnerships. So let's dive into these gems, both for the queens that these co-founders truly are, and the empowering words that they share with us that apply to our daily lives, regardless of what you do as a profession. Because who you are, and we are all human, is so much more important than what you do. Because what you do can change at any given moment, and you will always be that powerful, confident, beautiful person you are. Except every now and then, we can go sideways. That's okay too. First off, what popped the most and right away was that cultural ideology of education. Yes, did you pick up on that? Education being front and center. Absolutely powerful path to education. It opens doors, and in those spaces, the opportunities we have to innovate for our community. still, and this is the point that drives home for almost all of us, we were often told that once we got that education and we worked so hard to defend ourselves in spaces that made us feel like imposters as Latino women, then the next step was to get that job in corporate, or law, or engineering, or medicine. Those were the only choices. That was the golden ticket. And thankfully, we are definitely raising our presence in the STEM fields way beyond when I was there, for sure. It's brilliant, it's powerful, it's necessary so that we are designing with our community in mind. Now, this is something that resonates so deeply with a lot of Latinas who are raised with the expectations to excel, to be the high achiever, to make the family proud. And for some reason, the boys were never burdened with this. One day we'll have to have a mom on here with adult boys to explain that to us. I know what happened in our family, but I don't want to believe that that's what happened with everybody. So I'd love to compare. But like we learned from Miguel Ángel Caballero, the Latino filmmaker in season 6, going after that big job that is not your mission, it's not going to be sustainable in the long run. There's no fuel behind it, right? That's where burnout occurs. You're doing this big job like you're supposed to after getting the big education like you're supposed to, but it's not what you love doing. It's not what you were born to do. And that is exactly what Amy, Lisa, and Wendy brought up last week. Each of the ladies shared that after all that hard work of being highly educated, with graduate degrees, and easily getting their corporate roles, they were still hungry for more. It wasn't enough to be following someone else's directions, instructions, ideas. These three have what it takes, like so many of you, to see the need, to see the void in the system that isn't built for us, and envision the solution that not only fills the deficit in society, but it fills your soul. The fuel that makes what you do sustainable, thrilling, and as Amy put it, proud to be helping others rise to a higher version of themselves. Because that part, that's still innate in us. These three are brilliant, absolutely brilliant individually, and more so together as Fluentica. And it gives us the chance to identify ourselves with these personalities to learn how to navigate life with their life lessons here in this episode. Wendy is a total go-getter, the businesswoman who is making connections, sees business potential, and knows how to pull it together and present it out to the world. She honors her dad for his hustling personality to just go after it. And I think she takes that DNA to a whole other level. She inspires us to go for it, to never hesitate, and to keep moving through life to make your dreams happen. So if you're working with Fluentica, if you're a business who's reached out to them for marketing, you can trust that Wendy's savviness will have your business in the limelight in no time, keeping those big brands in FOMO mode for not having the foresight to partner with you before you went big. And Lisa, well, she's my brain doppelganger, the one I personally relate to the most because she loves to step into the unknown and thrives in problem solving on the spot. I mean, I think her and I could go deep down a rabbit hole of trying to solve so many issues out there. And she honors her abuela for that quick thinking and resilience to make the most happen out of the fewest resources. I know there's more of you out there. Now, for others, and we mean way out there others, it may be smoke and mirrors. But for the comunidad, that quick thinking and resilience, that's the heartbeat that makes stuff happen. Whether you're a business owner or not, you definitely want Lisa in your world for those moments when you just can't get the solution you're after. And can you imagine handing over that marketing anomaly that many of us pretend isn't a big deal to someone like Lisa, that's all about value proposition and marketing strategy, focused especially on your unique target audience. Blah. I don't even know where to start with that. Fluentica, ladies. Fluentica. And even as she stated on the episode, Amy, last but not least, is that empathetic leader. Developed from her personal experience of moving here from Ecuador as a teenager, when the world is just one giant who am I question on a daily basis. That was so key to her growing up that it stayed with her. The compassion to truly care for your roots, for who you are authentically. To use that as your superpower. To motivate you to feel secure that you can do what others may be telling you you can't. And as you listen to her go after everything she did, because the situation she was in at work was not giving her the opportunity, you knew she was doing it for herself. She was doing it out of authenticity of who she was. And yet look what it does. It spins right back around and creates a professional woman who is out to ensure that others feel the same way, that they've reached the success that they're going after while maintaining exactly who they authentically are. That is the power of diversity. And that's what I love the most about this episode, is that it really showcases how living your authentic self, bringing your true self into your everyday, creates a superpower that lends itself to greater things than ever could be possible without your genuine personality. Wendy with her go-getter business savviness, Lisa with her love of problem solving, and Amy with her love of helping others succeed while proudly staying true to their roots. Would you have learned that in school, that this would be the way to frame a business? Would they have said, be your genuine self, and while you're doing it, look for these people with these traits because this is going to make a powerful business model? Would you have even discovered this combination of roles in a typical corporate setting? No, probably not. Otherwise, there wouldn't be the Latina exodus from corporate and into the largest group of new business owners in America. These are the queens of Fluentica, the untouchable multicultural marketing company that has set its mission on cultivating that $3.2 trillion cultural capital of our comunidad to be the new standard of business and still bridge them with the bigger brands. The big brands that will regret not getting on board sooner as advocates and sponsors because Fluentica is taking them to a whole other level of competition. You can reach out to Fluentica through their website at www.fluenticanyc.com and on their social media on Instagram at fluentica.marketing and LinkedIn. So catch up on their full-length episode that kicked off our third year and season 7 on July 17th, and any of your favorite streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And that way you're all caught up for next week's full-length episode with Monica Avila, fashion designer and founder of Luna and Leche Maternity, a maternity clothing line that focuses on breastfeeding and pumping-friendly styles, keeping the Latina mama in mind for style, comfort, and budget. Anyone who's had to buy maternity clothes, you know what we're talking about here. Here's another amazing Latina whose journey into authenticity happened early in life. And Monica, man, she has some stories to tell from designing for major brands and boutiques. Everything from designer sportswear to designing her own lace. Who even does that? We all think it just magically appears. No, Monica did that because she was flourishing in that career. And even so, she kept evolving into her next big project, motherhood, which brought to light another void in the system. maternity and postpartum clothing for women to feel beautiful in without shelling out those hundreds of dollars, but with designs and materials that make you feel seen and loved. But it doesn't stop there. This was the pivotal point in Monica's life that is elevating quickly into a political advocate for mothers' rights in support and funding. Yep, that's right. She has even taken the podium in Washington, D.C. to speak for mothers' rights in the Central Valley of California. I tell you, we have some badass women on this podcast. But it always comes back home, literally, because this episode starts off with goosebumps and tears as Monica is broadcasting from her childhood home, her family's ancestral land from her abuelos. So when we ask you for your family story, you never know what's going to come up, but it will be treasured, and we are forever grateful for you sharing it. So check out Monica Avila ahead of her episode next week on her website at lunaandlechematernity.com and on her Instagram at lunaandleche_maternity, where you'll find the special event she has coming up in a month. So you don't want to miss it. All the great things of July, ending with Fiestas Patrias celebration this weekend. Celebrate for Peru and step into your truth, ladies. Ciao. We love that you have subscribed to this podcast and continue to champion women who understand the life of all things Latina. Be sure to follow and subscribe to the Encuentras Your Voice podcast so you don't miss a single episode. They will automatically drop into your listening device each week. And we'd really, really appreciate if you take a moment to add to the reviews that we already have. Tell us what you like, tell us what you're hoping to hear, and we will get there. Share this with your friends and family to help us grow our comunidad, and keep following us on our social media. To Encuentras Your Voice, we are so grateful to you for helping us grow this community and would love to learn of all the amazing Latinas who you know are creating the world we thrive in. So reach out to me on social media at Encuentras Your Voice, and let's keep leaning into our authenticity in pride. Help us make Encuentras Your Voice the place where you are 100% represented.